So I was trying to come up with a new video idea to film, and I was looking at a bunch of patterns that people have already done videos on. You've heard of the bordered chevron bracelet, and it got me thinking, what if I did a bordered alternating chevron? And this is what I came up with. Hey everyone, in this video today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the bordered alternating chevron bracelet. So this one I did just a test on to see if I could use just 6 strings for the chevron part, but I didn't really like how much you can't really see the pattern that well. So instead I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this bracelet using 8 strings for the chevron part. I'm not claiming that I invented this bracelet, because really you could probably put a border on just about any bracelet pattern, but I thought it'd be something fun and new to upload, so here it is. Now for this bracelet, I'm going to do 8 strings for the chevron part, and really, you could use as many as you wanted. Like here I use 6, and it's a little bit more thin. I find that 8 is a pretty good number. You could do 10 if you wanted to, or 12. It's really up to you. So you want to figure out what 2 colors that you want to use for your alternating chevron, and then you want to have 2 strings that are going to be your border. And this bracelet is actually really easy to do. Once you already know how to do an alternating chevron, then it's just adding a couple extra steps. So here's the setup that you want to have. You want to have your 2 border strings, of course, on the very outside edges. You want to have all of one of your colors on one side, and then your second color on the other. And if you want to do 8 strings, that's perfectly fine. If you want to do more or less, you can also do that and still follow along. So we have our string set up here. And the way I've seen people do bordered chevrons before is they'll work on their border strings first and then they'll do the bracelet portion. What I kind of like to do is work on 1/2 at a time, because it just feels kind of easier to me. But you can do it whichever way that you want to do. But first I'm going to start on the left side. We're going to take our border string and do a forward backward knot onto our first color. And this is going to make sure that the border will always stay on the outside. And then I'm going to put that off to the side here. And then once you have that, you'll go ahead and do the start of your alternating chevron, which is taking the strand that you just did the border string on and doing forward knots on each of your color until you get to the middle. And then we're going to work on our other half, which what you're going to do is take your border string and you're going to mirror what you did over here and do a backward forward knot on your first color. Then you're going to put that off to the side, and then taking your color that you have right here and do backward knots on all your strings until you get it to the middle. And then once you have that, you're going to take your 2 middle strands right here, and you are going to do a forward knot. So that way your colors are now on the opposite side. So you have one of your colors from this side over here now, and then one from here onto this side. And that's how you get that alternating chevron look. It's just like a regular chevron, but your color setup is a lot different, so that way it's in these blocks of color here and they're switching sides each row. But that really is all you do for the whole bracelet. We're going to start on our left side again, and then we are going to take our border string, then take our color, do a forward backward knot onto that string, And then go ahead and just throw that off to the side, and then taking your first color, do forward knots on all of your knots until you get right in the middle. And because your colors are now mixing with each other and trying to switch sides, it can get a little bit confusing where your middle is. But the way that I can find it easy to remember is because I have 4 strings right here on one side, I know that one of my strands will be my working strand, so I will only need to knot onto 3 strings, even though I do have 4, if that makes sense. Another way you can keep track is if you have a clipboard, or even if you're just taping it down onto your table like I am, you could have it organized in a way where you have a marker that lets you know that this is the middle, and you can keep your strings on the opposite side, so when you have your strings joining in the middle, you know that these are the 2 that you're going to knot onto to put them to the other side. So now that we're done with our left half, we're going to go to the right, and basically mirroring what we just did on the left, we're going to take our border strand, do our first color, and do a backward forward knot. Then you can put that off to the side and then continue doing your alternating chevron, taking your working strand, doing backward knots until you get it to the middle. And then once you have that, you're going to take your 2 middle strands and do a forward knot. And now you're adding more colors to each side. And that is really all you do for this bracelet. It's extremely easy. It's literally just the alternating chevron pattern. You're just adding on those 2 little steps to make that neat border. And I thought it would have been a fun video to film because it's something kind of different instead of just a bordered chevron or whatever. It's just an alternating chevron with a little bit of a twist. So it was a really quick and easy video for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this. If there's anything else you want to see me try to come up with and film, I would love to hear it in the comments. I am always willing to hear suggestions. So thank you guys so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.